Hey guys, what's going on? It's Brittany back at you with another video. So every Wednesday we go over another possible candidate for who could have saved Grogu. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, then in the Mandalorian chapter 13, basically it was revealed that Grogu was trained on a Jedi temple back during prequels, but no one knows where he was or what happened. Ahsoka tells us this, but she doesn't recognize him, and someone saved him, but he won't reveal who, and his mystery, his mystery, his mind is like clouded, so he can't remember anything after that. So we're sort of left in speculation territory, which is what we do every Wednesday. We go for a new character. So in previous weeks we've done Mace Windu, R2-D2, and loads of other characters, Quinn and Voss. But yeah, so this week we're doing Jacosta new. So a bit of background for knowledge for Jacosta new, if you don't know who she is. She is the Jedi Temple Librarian. She's the character from episode 2 who says, if it's not in my archives, then if the planet's not in my archives, then it doesn't exist. She is also features in the Clone Wars, prominently in season 2 of the show, in the first arc, Children of the Force. Then she also appears in other Star Wars media, for example the Vader comics, which is the main reason why we've selected her for today. So everyone said Jacosta might be because we know she survived Order 66 and she was permanently stationed at the temple. So when Operation Nightfall was initiated by Palpatine and Order 66 came out, and then Anakin and the 5th Legion came to execute the Jedi, she would have been on the temple to save Grogu. That's the number one. So of course this instantly helps other characters, not instantly deletes the chances of other characters saving Grogu. For example, people have said Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Maul, Yoda, they all could have saved him. But I say no for those characters because they weren't on the temple and Anakin would have found him. But there's another reason in here that might be a reason for that, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, so that's why one of the reasons I picked Windu was because he was on Coruscant, and he might have been able to get there before Anakin. That is a possibility. But yeah, so another thing about Jacosta New is that in the Vader comic series, if you read that, then you'll know that it is revealed that she had a secret room in the temple that Anakin didn't know about. So of course we have to assume that only the High Jedi Council, so like Yoda, Mace Windu, Ki-Adi-Mundi, only they knew about this room, because Anakin was he was on that council for a while, but he wasn't really told about it. But yeah, so she has this secret room where she has ancient Jedi and Sith artifacts like Darth Mermin's helmet and stuff. So that's instantly quite interesting. But I think the main interesting thing in here is that Grogu could have been hidden in here for some time. That might have been part of the reason why she came back to the temple in the Vader series. Another reason that also during the Order 66 we didn't see her, she might have been in the room hiding and snuck out later, or she could have been helping Grogu escape through the ventilation shafts or something like that. But we really don't know. But it's been said that Grogu's backstory will be revealed in Mandalorian Season 3 and the Ahsoka show. So the Ahsoka show is a Mandalorian spin-off set at the same period that will be released in 2022, and Mando Season 3 will start filming in April and it will be released in 2022. Sorry. But yeah. So we know that, and then there's also been rumours for Grogu to show up in the Bad Batch. So that show will be coming very recently. I have some new videos on the Bad Batch coming out very soon, so be sure to check those out. But yeah, so Jacosta knew high chance she could have saved Grogu, but there is a third reason. So the third reason is that Grogu doesn't, of course we have to imagine that if in the Yoda species we know that Grogu's 50, he would have been much younger during the time of the Clone Wars and the prequels around that era. So you wouldn't expect Grogu to be trained with a lightsaber, but maybe we don't know too much about Jedi training. The only information we can gather is from what little scenes we see. We see Yoda training younglings with lightsabers. We also see Ahsoka taking younglings to build their lightsabers. Those are some of the few stuff we see to do with the training of the Jedi and lightsabers. So Grogu doesn't use a lightsaber. We know that because we've never seen him with one. We've never seen him do anything like with a sword or any sort of combat staff or spear or something. He's never really showed his abilities with a weapon like that. And also because when Moff Gideon shows him the Darksaber, he's very intrigued by it. You see he wants to touch it, it's glowy, it looks interesting. And you'd imagine if Grogu had seen a lightsaber before, he wouldn't have had that reaction to seeing Moff Gideon's. So that's why another reason for Jacosta maybe being involved is because we have to assume here that Jacosta might have trained Grogu. So that might have been what she was doing, is training Grogu. So yeah, so if we assume that, then we must assume that because Jacosta she's very involved with the Force and less with the lightsaber. So we know that because she's not really known to be flashing out her lightsaber like Anakin. She's more like Obi-Wan with the negotiations. So we can assume that she trained Grogu in the Force because he's very able with the Force. So we have to assume that's how she trained him, and she never used her lightsaber. And if we imagine that Grogu was kept in her secret room that she has that we see in the Vader comic series, then that means he wouldn't have been able to see any other Jedi's lightsabers. And that means that it perfectly fits with the story. And it means that they won't have to retcon anything or backtrack because they've realised that they did this and then they're like, oh no, I don't like this, we need to change it. They can't really do that. But yeah, I think there's a lot of evidence for the possibility of Jacosta training Grogu because of these reasons. And it just makes sense seeing that she was on the Jedi Temple. She was in the Jedi Temple at the time. She was permanently there. She was in charge of the holocrons and everything, which sort of makes sense. I'm also intrigued to see how else he got out, because you would assume if she saved him from the temple, he would be with her, so they must get separated at some time. So I'm intrigued to see how that works, what we're going to see of that, hopefully in the Bad Batch. I can imagine maybe it could link to another Jedi, because you know how I talked about Quinn and Voss maybe saving Grogu, because one of my reasons for that was that he's with the Nyctos species, which is a species that Quinn and Voss is known to associate with because of his workings with the crime. So maybe maybe a theory I like is that Jacosta saved Grogu from the temple, helped him out through the ventilation shaft. Then he went sort of missing. The Bad Batch find him. They link up with Voss, and then he ends up in Voss's hands and ends up with the Nyctos. It sort of all fits together. I like that theory. It's a theory I made myself. Sorry. And it really fits with the story of the Mandalorian and connects together and connects other projects they're making, like other things that they're working on. And I also expect sort of maybe something to do with the Kenobi show, because that would make sense. But yeah, I think there's a whole realm of possibilities for who saved Grogu. Leave your comments on the theory, join me, Brick Timmy Discord, and yeah, that's all for this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, then please leave a like, it would mean a great deal. Subscribe, that would make my day. We are aiming for 50 subs at the end of the year, and we've got 31 right now. I think we lost a subscriber yesterday, so that's a shame. But yeah, 31 subscribers. We're aiming for 50 at the end of the year, so we're actually quite close, to be honest. So it would really make my day if you guys could subscribe, and be sure to check out next Wednesday. We're going to be doing another Who Saved Grogu episode, so that'll be very exciting. I'm not sure who we're going to be covering, but I know that we're going to keep on doing this until we find out who saved Grogu, because we really want to know who saved Grogu, so that's what we're going to do. But yeah, that's going to wrap up today's video. Do all the stuff I told you. The link for the Discord server will be in the description below, so be sure to join that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.